Hey everybody, we're live, so sorry for this sideways camera and whatnot, trying to get it set up, but these are live videos. Nate at Stowe Training here, just thinking about what joints need to be flexible and which ones need to be more stable to avoid joint pain. Now in the past I said that's a trick question, you have to have it aligned first or else it doesn't matter. But assuming that everything's in alignment, it does, though there are different approaches for different joints. So this is something to learn from a guy named Mike Boyle. It's just called the alternating joint theory. Now this is going to apply to 9 out of 10 people. I'm sure you'll find that one person out there this is not applicable to, but I try to help the most amount of people versus like that one weird 1 in a 10, 1 in 100 person. So here you go. Here's how it works. Every joint alternates on whether it needs more mobility, meaning stretching exercises, just loosening it up for lack of a better term works better, or stability. If that joint moves too much, you're probably going to have issues. So it starts at your ankle. You want your ankle to be very mobile. Let's see if I can get my foot up here. You want it to do like this. So if you've ever met anybody with a broken ankle and they have a pin in their ankle and it doesn't move correctly, you know that they have a bad time and have a lot of different issues that crop up with this. So when it comes to the ankle, the more we can kind of get that to move in a controlled motion, the better. After that is the knee. The knee, we only want to move one way. We want it to bend just like that. That looks like a knee. If that knee starts bending, like rotating or moving side to side, having tracking issues, you're going to have a bad time. But as long as we can have it nice and stable and move just like this, your knee's going to do pretty darn good. After that's our hips. We want our hips, again, a ball and socket joint. You want it to do like this. If those hips aren't rotating correctly, they start to tighten up. The body's really smart. You're going to get motion from somewhere. It'll either be below that hip or above that hip. And these are both two joints that don't want to move. That knee wants to move like this. So if that hip tightens up and it can't get that motion, it's probably going to come down and come through your knee. You're going to have a bad time. As long as you're moving through your hip, though, that knee can track the way it should. You're probably going to be good. Above that hip is your lower back. Your lower back, you don't want it to move. It's got very, very, very small range of motion. So the more stable it is, the better. But when it starts moving, that's where slip disc, bulging disc, herniated disc. Name something about a disc you don't want, and you're probably going to end up with that. Again, this will start to happen, though, if that hip isn't moving correctly. That movement's going to come from somewhere, either below the knee or above, hey, Ryan, or above the back. And either way, you're going to have a bad time. Above that lower back is your upper back. You want it to move. You don't want to get that Quasimodo look where it's kind of all humped up and what have you. You want to have some nice flexibility, be able to scratch your arms, get your hands over your head. As long as that upper back's nice and loose, you're good. But otherwise, let's loosen her up. Beyond that is our neck. We don't want our neck to have too much motion, kind of like the lower back. Don't want to start pitching nerves, having disc issues. You're going to have a bad time. Then you have your shoulder. Your shoulder does like this. So you want it to have the full motion. If it starts to get turned in, you can't hardly pick your hands up. Again, you're probably going to develop neck issues, shoulder issues, maybe some elbow and wrist and carpal tunnel type issues. A lot of stuff you probably don't want. Then comes that elbow, much like that knee. You kind of want it to move back and forth. It starts to rotate and twist too much of that elbow. You're going to have a bad time. And then finally, wrists. So my wrists move around a little bit. So there you go, alternating joint theory. Yeah, first of all, everything needs to be in alignment. If it's not in alignment, none of this matters. Assuming everything's in alignment for 99 out of 100 people, we want mobility from certain joints and others we want to be more stable. In our entire program, from the warm-up to the exercise selection to the exercise execution, how we do it, needs to have this theory kind of backing it so we can get the best results possible. If you'd like me to help you out, just shoot me a message. Love to see if we'll be a good fit. Talk to you soon. Bye.